ambulance, if necessary, to a hospital or other type of long-term care facility. You'll see National Guard cooperating with civilian authorities. Typically when we respond, we only fall under a civilian incident commander because we're in the States. We respond to their needs, their requests. We're basically a force provider and bring specific skills to the table to assist local law enforcement and civil authorities in providing the services and protection to the people in their areas.
My name is Major Emil Lisiak. I'm from Epidemiological Response Center of Polish Armed Forces, and we are here with my soldiers to make a next step in our cooperation with soldiers from Illinois National Guard. This cooperation started 5 years ago. Last year we had a big exercise in Poland, near Warsaw, and this year we have a great opportunity to participate in exercise in Chicago. That's a partnership between Illinois National Guard and the Polish. The state of Illinois is a partnership for Poland. So okay. we have good connections, and this is the reason why we train together from 5 years. So here it's 12, and the second group is 10. And they are designated to a civil support team in another place, so we are divided to do groups to learn as much as possible.
Okay, and is it just Polish Army, or are there other forces?
Yeah, we have also participants from our Ministry of Interior, from Fire State of Poland, and from Polish FBI, and there are also another group from police.
Do you have American forces in Poland? Do you do exercises with them there?
Actually, now we have American soldiers, but they have no connections with us because there is special forces, another kind of forces. But we had at least 3 exercises together with our colleagues from Illinois National Guard during last 4 years.
Okay. Pretty big exercise, probably 60 Boy Scouts down there with their Scoutmasters and whoever else wanted to come along. Notice they have them lying face down in the anthrax powder.
It's a very real-life situation.
Everyone lie down in the anthrax powder. I mean, we're going to move you.
Hostages, you are expendable. Please put your face directly in the powder.
All right. Yeah, all of a sudden the Polish BOA is participating in this exercise, which they didn't mention at all before that. It was just they're here to observe, Hey, it's BOA. Bureau of Operational Anti-Terrorism is what I think it stands for. So I don't know, this was a hard one to swallow, watching these guys training with the Boy Scouts. It definitely looks like acclimation. Then you've got Boy Scouts, which are kind of your perceived civil leaders in the community, being trained, this is what it's like to be a hostage. This is what it's like to be a prisoner,
Well, and really, if you think about it, the Eastern Bloc countries are probably used to situations that are somewhat like this. But who is this acclamation for? Is it for the Polish? Is it for Americans to get used to foreign voices telling them what to do?
You saw the end of that report, didn't you? The Boy Scouts training to take on disgruntled veterans. In case you're in denial, all over this country, they're training the Explorer Scouts to take on the American people right out of Nazi Germany, right out of Soviet Russia. This is classic authoritarianism being set up in this country, and it's being done because criminals have hijacked the nation. You ignore this information at your intense peril. As for me, I want liberty, and I am standing up against this. And I'm not standing up against it in some futile effort. I've studied history. We have a good chance of beating this if you get involved and get aggressive in the info war, decrying this police state and this militarization of our country and pointing out that it's authoritarianism and it's not being done to keep you safe. That's why we've got to expose the fact that almost all terror is government-sponsored and staged so they can pose as our saviors. We'll be right back. Speaking of saviors, the new French president. Stay with us.
Have you been to InfoWarsShop.com lately? Express your inner patriot with these brand new InfoWars t-shirts. Say it loud with the InfoWars Bullhorn shirt, or educate the sheeple with the Bill of Rights shirt. Grope the public's mind with the TSA shirt. And with this shirt, you can let the dark side know of the Rebel Alliance's power. All available at InfoWarsShop.com.
Sick of the globalist eugenicist control freaks adding poison to your water and laughing as you get sick and die? Start purifying your water with ProPure. My friends, I've done a lot of research, and the best gravity filter out there, bar none, is ProPure, and it's available discounted at InfoWars.com. Its filters are silver impregnated to prevent bacterial growth. There's no priming required. It's NSF 42 certified. Optional fluoride filters can reduce fluoride up to 95%. Easy to set up and use. Doesn't require electricity. Purify water from lakes, streams, ponds, and wells. This filter system leaves in beneficial minerals, which is key. Save money by not buying bottled water and avoid BPA that leaches from the plastic. ProPure is the best gravity-fed filter out there. It's what my family uses. Infowars.com already has the lowest price on ProPure. But if you add the promo code WATER at checkout, you get an additional 10% off at Infowars.com. You can also call to order 888-253-3139.
And we are back. It's InfoWars Nightly News. I'm your host, Rob Dew. Thanks to Alex for doing the news portion of today's show. And I am here, sitting right next to me on the other side of the world, on 12 hours away, is Pepe Escobar, who's a correspondent and reporter for the Asia Times. And we just had a great conversation talking about France, which we're going to get into. But hey, Pepe, how's it going?
How's it going, Rob? Thanks for having me.
Oh, it's going great. Had a very interesting weekend with France having a new election. But let's get into what we were going to talk about. When I talked to you last week, you sent me an email and you said, let's talk about Baghdad, the Baghdad meeting in Iran, the NATO summit in Chicago, Putin in Russia, and the rise of the BRIC countries. You said it's all interconnected. Tell us how it's interconnected.
Okay.
That's a lot of stuff.
Can you give me 4 hours?
Yeah.
Look, okay, let's start with the Baghdad meeting, because what happened in Istanbul was more or less setting the stage for the next meeting in Baghdad between Iran and the 5 permanent members of the Security Council plus Germany. There is a very strong possibility of a deal. Many reasons. Number one, the Iranian leadership now, they feel confident that they know exactly what they want, because now they control all the instances of power in Iran, including the parliament. So Ayatollah Khamenei, who dictates Iranian nuclear policy, this has nothing to do with the presidency. It's always very important to remember that. the guys who are following his instructions, they feel much more relaxed. And European diplomats who were present at this first meeting in Istanbul say, look, there's a significant change of attitude now. I think both parties now, we feel that we could talk and there is the possibility of a deal. So this could happen in Baghdad. It would include, of course, Iran abdicating from reaching uranium to 20%, which now, until I would say a month ago, this was not feasible at all. And nowadays, there is this possibility. What they want in return is, number one, to be respected as a regional power, no more threats of regime change. They want, especially that they have the right to enrich uranium according to the NPT, the Non-Proliferation Treaty, which they subscribe. And they want to develop a civilian nuclear program. So if they can prove to the permanent members of the Security Council plus Germany that they are doing exactly that, and they don't have a subterranean nuclear military program, which according to the IAEA and US intelligence, they don't at the moment. So the possibility of a deal is very, very real. And the Obama administration will milk it heavily because Obama can also sell, just like Obama has been reselling the death of Osama bin Laden. Now he can, if there is a deal, he can sell, look, I was the president who made a nuclear deal with Iran. So the possibilities are great. Of course, we have to take into consideration what our friends in Israel are planning to do to disrupt this whole operation.
Yeah, they don't seem to be interested in Iran having any nuclear capabilities whatsoever.
Exactly. And of course, considering that their rationale for the past few years, in fact, is that Iran is an existential threat to Israel. It's not. It never was. And even the former chief of Mossad has been saying that publicly. No, it's not. And they don't have a nuclear program. They are not an existential threat. So what is it? What is it is that if Iran becomes a nuclear power, even a civilian nuclear power, the nuclear monopoly of Israel in the Middle East is gone. Israel is a nuclear power and is also a military nuclear power. They have more than 200, perhaps 300 nuclear warheads. This is the elephant, the cheetah, panda, you name it, a lion in the room. You know, nobody ever mentions that, but this is true. So there will be some sort of equilibrium because there will be another nuclear nation, even a civilian nuclear nation in the wider Middle East, in this case, Southwest Asia, right? So, and of course, there will be the elections in Israel probably in September. We don't know what's going to happen if Bibi Netanyahu will remain in power. If he doesn't, there's a possibility of Israel being a little more, let's say, a more rational player than under Bibi, which they've been doing basically apocalyptic stuff for the past few years, saying that Iran is going to bomb them tomorrow. When what could actually happen is the other way around.
Well, and there's been assassinations in Iran. There's been all kinds